Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Browns halftime show with a tie game 10-10. How's everybody doing? Again, before I get too carried away and talk about, there are things that are obvious to me, and I'm just a casual observer watching from a comfortable place on my bed. But bad teams get bad spots. Good teams get good spots. Bad teams get pass interference calls against them. Good teams don't. And it all depends who the betting favorite is and who the NFL wants to win. That's just the way it is. Next, Cade York is finished. All right. There is something so systemically wrong in this player. I mean, that kick, he was lined up the wrong direction. His approach to the ball guaranteed that it would go exactly where it went. And I said this last game when the blocked kick, that ball was going left anyway. It didn't matter. It was the same exact thing, low trajectory and hooked off to the left, but not even hooked so much as aimed so far left. And everyone said, well, it was blocked. That had nothing to do with it. Had it not been blocked, the kick would have been no good. Hey, I'm Perry. How you doing? It's nice to hear from you. Why do I feel like this is going to go to hell in a handbasket? Because that's what it always does. I mean, you can't play football like this. They're just... I mean, even on the kickoff, Ford made a nice return, but he could have gotten much more out of that if he just kept his head up and looked at the lanes that were wide open in front of him. What's the point of having a 3rd and 17 and then throwing a 2-yard screen pass? It's nonsensical. Everything about the Browns is nonsensical, and that's why they don't win. And, what I can say is this, none of it really matters. Everyone's waiting for Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson isn't going to make a damn bit of difference. I mean, David Bell can catch everything that's thrown to him, but it's 4 yards down the field. And Donovan Peoples-Jones can't get separation as a number 2 wide receiver. He can't. There's no downside to playing man-on-man pass, defense, putting a man on an island with DPJ. He can't outrun anybody. And they always run him right down the sidelines, and the sideline is an additional defender. It forces Brissett just to throw the ball up in the air, and he's not an accurate long thrower to begin with. I don't understand it. All of these calls that are like 3rd and short calls where they go back and throw these balls, and they're always to Amari Cooper, always on the sideline, and never any room for him to really be able to make a play. There's nothing big going down the middle of the field. Now, that has to be being dictated by the defense of the other team, or it's just dictated by the coach who just refuses to run intermediate passes down the middle of the field. I don't understand it. And I never will, because it doesn't make any sense. And Amari Cooper's a fine receiver, but he's not very big. And, you're really double teaming him when you throw the ball to him on the sideline like that down the field. The ball has to be feathered in perfectly, and the defender got away with pass interference, which he will 9 out of 10 times against the Cleveland Browns. If it happens in the middle of the field, perhaps you have a chance of somebody calling it. But no, with an additional defender, the sideline there, not going to make any damn bit of difference. But I'm just appalled. And it's not that they're playing so horrible. It's that that Tom Brady's going to shred them in the second half. It already started on the last drive with the balls being thrown over the middle and the famous zone soft coverage by the idiot defensive coordinator who's never going to leave. Joe Woods, but look, we only gave up 10 points. I said the Browns were going to win this game 24-23. and I explained why in depth on Friday's show, is because Brady doesn't have an arm to throw the ball long anymore. There isn't the quick strike capability that there used to be. It takes him longer to get the ball down the field. Consequently, when that happens, they score fewer points. And that's why they score fewer points than they did in his heyday. But it doesn't matter if the Browns just continue to call 2-yard screen passes and penalize themselves in the second and third and longs. What difference does it make? At any rate, if you look, at what the analytics people would be looking at, you'd be saying, well, look at the box score. Brissett's 12 of 18. That's 67% completion, 85 yards. The one interception, which hardly matters, you just threw it in the last play of the half. He hasn't been sacked. He scrambled for a first down yardage. The Browns have 104 yards rushing in the first half of the game, albeit one of them was the Anthony Schwartz play, and I'm still laughing about that. That's the way. That's the way he's going to become prolific. If nobody touches him. If so much as a finger was laid on him, he would have gone flying through the air and gone down. Or looked for a soft space to land. I don't know. But again, if you look at the rushing, they've got 60 yards rushing, and White is the one who's doing the predominant damage. But 35 out of his 47 yards came on one play. And of course, that can happen in the second half a couple of times. And if you don't believe me, ask the Ohio State Buckeyes how you do it. Godwin, 6 receptions for 58 yards. That's where all the passes have gone. For us, it's more of a short passing game because we can't complete long passes. But the main things are you cannot have a field goal kicker who is this unreliable, and they've obviously don't know how to address the problem because it's gotten worse. I mean, I really, something, Godzilla, there's never any pressure on Brady. It never happens. He gets rid of the ball very quickly, and the vast majority of plays are out of his hands so fast, it's not going to matter. Plus, Myles Garrett's playing, with his left arm limp, so we know all about that. If you're not going to address a field goal kicker's problems, then you might as well just let him go. Because he's not going to get out of this by himself. And I want people to look at that kick. If you're recording the game, just look at the angle that he takes, and it's almost like his plant foot is going the direction that the ball goes. And if somebody has a freeze action picture that they can put up of the ball when it's at impact, and he's almost sliding on his plant foot, I don't know what the deal is. Has he just not got the wrong cleats on? I don't get it. It makes no sense. Makes no sense to me at all. But this is obviously what they're willing to put up with. In the second half of the game, we've seen it before. Tampa Bay comes out and will score a touchdown. This is what happens every time. The Browns will go 3 and out. Tampa Bay will score another touchdown. They'll be up 24-10. And then the Browns will start moving the ball slowly enough to run the clock out. Jeez Louise. I don't know. I mean, it's hopeless in my mind. If you don't have any receivers you can get down the field, you know how odd it is to have nobody except Amari Cooper running deep? And when it's DPJ, it doesn't matter who the defensive back is, even guys off the bench, they're running stride for stride with him. And again, he's running down the sideline. Why don't, if we know we're in man-to-man coverage coming up to the line of scrimmage, why can't we change the motherfucking play and let him somehow go one-on-one down the middle of the field where he has a chance to at least land both of his feet in bounds? I mean, is that asking too damn much? I don't know. So it's pointless. We have one good possession. That's the opening possession of every game. And after that, it all goes to hell in a handbasket. And we'll see next week if it really does have anything to do with Jacoby Brissett, or whether that's just the backdrop of all of these things. Carolina is actually winning. Jacksonville is beating Baltimore. Miami is crushing Houston. So we have a chance. Houston, we have a problem. The Jets are beating Chicago like everybody does. And the Bengals are struggling with Tennessee, with the Titans. So a lot of close games around the league. And, Sam Darnold is the quarterback. And that's really got to make Baker Mayfield happy. I know it makes me happy. Because there's nothing else that would make me happy. What can I tell you? So that's it. I don't have any great wisdom except the Browns should have more points on the board, but I say that every week. And that we have this burgeoning problem that our 4th round kick that we spent on a kicker is wasted because nobody knows how to help him out of what he is. And he can't stand in the locker room this time and said, it felt good when I hit it. If he says that, then I'd cut him. I'd cut him the next day because I swear to God, that looked bad. And they have been looking bad. And every time, just somebody get me a picture for the post-game show, would you? And send it to me at mooheadradio@yahoo.com, please. If you do that for me, I can show where his plant foot is and why the ball can't possibly go any other direction but the way it goes. And that when he does that, it just slams left. Never a chance. That's my 12 minutes at half. I hope you have a fun time, and I'll be watching the second half right there with you, and I'll see you again after the game. Take care, and let's hope that the Browns can somehow pull a miracle out of their ass. Until after the game, hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. Bye-bye.